I'm about to go to college, and I am not ready at all. As of right now, it is July, and in September, college classes start. When I graduated high school in 2019, I had a career that I wanted to chase, and that was line work with the company Avista that's here in Washington. Everything was going fine with that career that I was chasing. I had a school lined up where I'd trained to be a lineman and all that stuff. And unfortunately, due to some unexpected pandemics, everything was shut down, including the school. In fact, the school that I was going to was permanently shut down. So that school, the Avista Line School, would never open up ever again. So I was at a standstill, a fork in the road. And of course, being me, I went down the easy path and found myself working odd jobs and jobs that really didn't have a lot of weight to them. I worked for an estate as like a groundskeeper for a bit, and then from there I went to Walmart, worked as like a door checker person or a greeter at the door. And I was okay with doing those jobs because I had just graduated high school, and I just, you know, it was very convenient to work those easy jobs with easy hours. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't moving forward in life. I was just kind of being there, making enough money to buy what I wanted to buy. From there, I moved from the Walmart, you know, greeter the door to the automotive area of Walmart and started working there. After that, I had a job opportunity to go work with cameras, which of course I like to do. So I went from Walmart automotive to cameras for court stuff, depositions and recording legal proceedings and stuff. And so after a while, I realized I really didn't like the pressure that had, you know, traveling to other cities and stuff, and I didn't like that the pressure that had, because the people around me were very, very well off, and I didn't fit in. So I left that job and wanted to go back to line work. I wanted to chase that career again. Having that job with the cameras, having that fail like it did, gave me more motivation to get back on track. Now, I ended up back at Walmart as a transition job, saying, okay, I'm gonna work at Walmart. I'm going to earn enough money to get my CDL so I can drive trucks, and that is required to be a lineman. So I figured I'd save up the money, get a CDL, and then from there find a line school that I can start from, or just work as a groundsman or a groundman, and work my way from the bottom up to become a lineman. So that was my plan. That was my plan for a while, until a coworker at Walmart said, you know, if you really like working on cars, you should try to go work at a dealership and maybe become a mechanic. I kind of liked this idea because I did really enjoy working at Walmart on cars. It was work that I could do, and it was fun, and it was something that I had never done before. And so I entertained the idea, and I at the nearest dealership I applied, and I was accepted. And so I thought, you know what, let's try to become a mechanic. I guess I gave it a little consideration, but I didn't put too much consideration. I just said, I'm gonna wing it. I'm gonna become a mechanic. So I applied, and I started the training that it would take to become a mechanic. And I told the dealership, I am ready to do anything necessary to get to the top. I will become a mechanic. I was working and working up to do this training and stuff, until my mentor at the dealership talked to me and said, hey, you know, some people have the patience and the time to become a mechanic, because it takes time and it takes money. You have to buy all your own tools. And he asked me, are you willing to do all that? Are you willing to buy your own tools, to put in the effort 5 to 10 years to become a master technician? Are you willing to spend $30,000 a year on your own tools every year until you become a master technician? And it was at that point that I really took a step back and asked myself, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? Do I really want to make this my career? Do I want to wait that long for the money to start flowing in? And it was around that time that the tree came and crushed my Jeep. And that really bothered me, because I was at a point where now I'm out of a car. I wish I had the money to fix it, but I've been broke for the past 4 or 3 years, you know? So I didn't really have money to fix it. I was conflicted on, okay, a mechanic is expensive, it takes a long time. But man, if I had a lineman job right now, I'd be bringing home the money, and I'd be able to buy a new car. I wouldn't have to try to fix my 1986 Jeep Cherokee. I could buy a 2020 Jeep Gladiator. You know, I could buy whatever I wanted because linemen make a lot of money. So that was a big turning point for me, where I stepped back and said, okay, what do I want to do? Hold on. And so with that in mind, I decided I better go back into pursuing line work. So I started earning the money up once again. And mind you, because of all these things I was doing, because I was working as a mechanic, I was spending a lot of money to work up to become a mechanic. I was buying all these tools, you know, thousands of dollars in tools and stuff. I was pretty low on money. You know, not much had changed from working at Walmart. My bank account looked about the same as it did when I worked at the dealership. I hadn't gained any money and I hadn't really lost any money. I was stuck at a very small amount of money in my bank account. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and start saving up money for a CDL. I was ready. I said, you know, the next opportunity I get, I'm gonna get a CDL. I'm gonna go down to Spokane. I'm gonna grab a CDL. At some point during that time period, within a couple weeks, my dad talked to me. He said, you know, you should look into this thing called a relay tech. And a relay tech, you know, from what I understood at the time, they worked on like substations, power and stuff. Not quite a lineman, but they worked in the substations. And from what I heard, they made a lot of money. And at that point, I had made so many decisions to do this, to do that. All these different paths I'd been trying to take that I was down. I was like, you know what? I've tried so many other things. This relay tech thing, I'm down. I'm down to do it. I don't care what it takes, I'm gonna do it. And so my brother and I, he also was stumped on what career to begin. And so we decided, let's just do it together. Let's just both work towards being a relay tech. Let's just, whatever it takes, let's do it. That's where it began. That's where my college, this is a very long, convoluted way to get around to saying I'm going to college, because that's where the video started, but here I am regardless. So we decided we're both going to become a relay tech. What does that take? Well, it takes a 2-year degree. We both decided, all right, let's go ahead and enroll in college. We'll take a tour, and so we did. We took a tour down to the college, and I really liked what I saw. The college was super cool. I've never been to college, and the last time I was in school was in high school. It was a very cool opportunity to go and to tour this, because it really bolstered my hopes and my expectations. I was very excited. And so shortly after, we enrolled into electrical maintenance and automation, which is the class, the 2-year class that we'll be taking. And that class begins this September, which is right, as of right now, it's 2 months away. All of what I just said to say, I am not ready. The amount of money I had in my bank account at Walmart was the same as I had when I started working at the dealership. I have probably less money than I've had, you know, working at Walmart. The reason being, I spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff. For example, my car. I bought a new car after the Jeep wreck, almost $8,000 into it. That alone has just been sucking away at the money. On top of that, I'll be honest, I spend a lot of money on stuff that doesn't need to be spent, whether that be musical stuff, whether that be components to firearms, I spend a lot of money where I don't need to spend it. It's not essential. With that being said, I'm going to apply for every grant that is under the sun, because I won't be able to do this without a sizable loan or a ton of grants. So even with a part-time job, it will still be very difficult to go to college. That's why I'm not ready, because I'm not financially ready. And that's the biggest thing. I'm ready to put in the work and the time and the effort to get through this college, but I am not ready for the bills that I'm about to get. And speaking of, one of the things I've always wanted to do, and the reason why I started this channel in the first place, the reason why I started this oddly named channel, Nobody Monkey, is because I wanted, and I want, to go to Japan. The reason why I started this channel is because I wanted to film that. I wanted to film my experience in Japan. I wanted to film me and my experiences first time ever. I've always been interested in Japan. Now here I am experiencing it. That's why I wanted to share that. I wanted to share that with people who would be interested. The one thing that's been stopping me, of course, is money. It's not cheap to go to another country and live there for a little bit. Like, not that I'd live there, but to be there, to stay there for a period of time longer than a tourist. You know, I want to be there and experience the country, not as a tourist, but as someone who's genuinely looking into the country and trying to grasp the awesomeness of it. That's the reason why I made this channel, is so I can share that. And this job is the gateway to being able to fulfill that dream of going to Japan, to share that with you. It won't be an issue anymore, the money. I'll be able to live in a small house somewhere with minimal payments, save up a considerable amount of money, and when the time comes, I buy the plane ticket and I'm off, and off I go. That idea is very, very enticing. I like that idea a lot. The idea that you see it all the time with the YouTubers you watch, your favorite YouTubers. It seems like they have the money to go anywhere. They're doing all these crazy things. This video is sponsored by so-and-so and so-and-so, and they're able to go where they want and do what they want. A lot of us, most of us can't do that. We don't have the money for that. Like, I certainly don't, and a lot of people I know don't. We can't just get up and leave. We don't have the money. We don't have what it takes to do that. That's why electrical maintenance and automation, a relay tech, that's why that is so enticing, is because it gives me that opportunity to do that, to get up and leave and go wherever I want. The way you obtain that is by working hard to get there. You have to find a career that has the opportunity, and then you need to commit. Maybe these are my famous last words that I haven't looked into it a whole lot, and I'm just gonna wing it. And maybe they are, but if that is the case, then that's a shame. But if not, I need to prepare to work hard, to have some hardships, but in the end, I need to see the end of the tunnel, of getting to a position of being essential, being a valuable asset to the company, which in turn gives me benefits, money. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about in this long video. If you are watching, that's awesome, and I appreciate you listening. I just wanted to put that out there. I just wanted to, because my channel is it's like a timeline of my life. I look back at the first video I made. Within the year, 2 years that I have posted a video, I have matured so much. I have grown so much, and I think it's awesome to look back at each video I made, to see how I've progressed in life. It's very satisfying to see that I've actually grown as a person, and that's why I wanted to make this video, to kind of what do you call it? Put a timestamp on this, to look back at this and say, this is when I finally decided to grow up and get a career that was worth something. And it's like a time machine, being able to look back at this, and maybe I'll look back at this in 5-10 years and be happy with what I've done. Thank you so much for watching. Again, I've already said it, but thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you've made it to the end of this video, I've been sitting here for a while, so I'll stop boring you. You can go on and get on with your life. Do something hard and do something that challenges you. Improve yourself. Now, if I can have a brief second of a moment of your time, like, comment, and subscribe. Nande. And I'll be around.